Hey everyone, welcome back to Grace Note Forge. So today I got another review for you guys, and I'm going to be trying out this magnetic jewelry tumbler by VEVOR. And I'm going to be sharing some of my thoughts on how it works, and also how it compares to a regular rotary tumbler. So VEVOR did send me this unit for free to try out, but I have been curious about using these magnetic tumblers for a little while now. And back when I was looking into getting a tumbler for my jewelry making, I opted to go with the cheaper rotary tumbler just because I figured they probably worked the same, and I really didn't feel like shelling out the extra money for a magnetic tumbler because these do tend to be quite a bit more expensive. So right now this tumbler is listed for about $180 US on the VEVOR website, and most rotary tumblers tend to be quite a bit cheaper. I think I paid about $60 for mine, so it'll be really interesting to compare these two and see if it's actually worth it. So for a quick peek at how this machine works, much like the name suggests, it uses these really strong magnets to spin this stainless steel media around and basically throw it into your jewelry work to burnish or polish it. And this is pretty different from a rotary tumbler that kind of works more like a rock polisher, where the pieces just get thrown around with the media. So the media that comes with the magnetic tumbler is also quite a bit smaller than what you would get with a rotary tumbler. It comes in these really small pins, and you get about half a pound worth, but they're supposed to be really well suited for kind of more complex or detailed work. And you can see the media that comes with the rotary tumbler is quite a bit bigger and also comes in a few different shapes. So for both of them, I'm going to use this Shine Bright Burnishing Solution, and I'm just putting in a cap full for both, with the rotary tumbler filled about a third of the way with tap water, and the magnetic tumbler filled up to the standard line that's shown on the vat. And for testing, I'm going to be trying them out on a few sets of skull pendants. These are done in bronze, and these have a pretty good level of detail in them, so it should be pretty easy to see the side-by-side comparison. I'm going to let both of these run for 10 minutes each, and check back on the pieces once they're done. Now, I will say the rotary tumbler has always been pretty loud to use, and I don't know why, but I was kind of expecting the magnetic tumbler to be quite a bit quieter, but it turns out it's pretty much the same in volume, which makes sense with all that media spinning around, and it also has a cooling fan in it that runs as well. And once they're both done, I can go ahead and fish them out. And for this, it would probably be a lot easier to have some kind of like strainer to sift through the media. But I don't really have one, so I'm just going to have to use some tweezers and a flashlight. So now we can take a closer look at the results after both machines ran for 10 minutes. And they're pretty interesting. So there's a pretty clear difference in terms of the surface finish between these. And at first glance, the rotary tumbler definitely seems to have left like a shinier surface, whereas the magnetic tumbler kind of has a little bit more of like a matte finish to it. And it definitely polished up the pieces, but what I'm noticing is the surface is just much more even on the magnetic tumbler. Especially looking at the teeth, it seems like the rotary tumbler kind of only hit those high spots and really wasn't able to get into those fine cracks in the details. Whereas the small pins on the magnetic tumbler definitely seem to reach those areas pretty easy. And personally, I kind of prefer the more even like matte finish to these. because from here I would just dip them in a darkening agent and then shine up those high spots on a buffing wheel. And doing that gives you just a little bit more control over what areas are shining up, whereas the rotary tumbler just kind of shines up every high area at once, and I feel like it can tend to almost over polish and muddy up those details sometimes. So for my final thoughts, if you're looking into getting one of these, I honestly feel like you can't go wrong with either one. They're both great little machines and are super useful for polishing up jewelry, but at the end of the day, I really think it depends on the kind of work that you're doing. So if you tend to do pieces that are maybe a little bit larger or maybe don't have that crucial detail to it, I think the rotary tumbler would work just fine. But personally, I can see myself kind of leaning more towards the magnetic tumbler, especially for those detailed or really delicate pieces. If you're interested in picking up either one of these for yourself and also want to help support my work, I'll leave some affiliate links down below to where you can find these. I do believe VEVOR carries a version of the rotary tumbler, but I really can't speak to that. All I can say is I'm pretty positive that they use the same manufacturer, but either way, this has been a really fun experiment, so let me know what you guys think if you have this same tumbler or either one of these and want to share some of your experiences and how they work. Feel free to leave those down in the comments, but that's it for now. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.